All right, so let's jump into this thing. Have you ever been in a church service, playing at a church service, and they call out some song you ain't never heard before? So now you're stuck. You don't know what to play. You don't know how it feels. You don't know the groove. You don't know nothing. And especially if they start calling out numbers and you're not familiar with numbers, you're just lost. And if anybody been there, you know it's a pretty embarrassing situation. Well, let's deal with it today. In today's teaching, I want to give you a framework. I want to give you a framework in this short time that we're going to be together today. I want to give you a framework that's going to show you how to start becoming the best version of yourself, and also how to start playing with confidence in any situation, especially these situations that arise in church. I want to give you that framework today. So let's jump right into it. So I'm going to teach you some things. I really feel like this is one of the bigger problems for most people, from what I've heard and some of the things I've discovered. Most people don't become familiar enough with the number system. I know that sounds like a simple concept, but I believe that's one of the biggest things that trips up bass players, because if you know the number system, you can about get through anything, even if you never heard it before. So let's start here, just because I don't know who's watching and I don't know what level you are. But if you know this, just bear with me, because you might find something that you didn't know as well. So the number system, for you guys who are interested, is very, very simple. So the number system, I assume that many of you already know a major scale. If you don't know what a major scale is, don't worry about it. We'll get you there. All right, so here it is. The number system, we're going to use the key of C major, but just a major scale, right? And if you guys ever heard of The Sound of Music, depending on how old you are, you might not know what I'm talking about. But if you're older, you already know what it is. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right? So if any of you guys ever heard about that, using the number system is exactly the same. So what we're doing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you have an octave, which is back to 1. Again, I'll do that slow. Play it with me if you got your bass. We're going in the key of C. We can go here, or we can go here. It really doesn't matter. All we're doing is establishing the number system and making sure we're good with that. So again, in the key of C, I'm going to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Right? 1, or octave. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the main point of this. Before we can move on and get anything else, we got to make sure we know this, because I'm going to get into some other stuff really soon. But I want you to make sure that you're solid on the number system. Now, here's the thing that you might not know if you're already familiar with the number system. When people start calling out, especially in church, they say, go to the flat 2, the flat 5, the flat 7, all that kind of stuff. What in the world? It's like, I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but what you talking about all this flat stuff? What does that mean? All right, so what that is, again, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. All right, so if we understand that, in order to flatten anything, we just go to that note. All right, and if we go to 7, somebody say go to the flat 7. How do we go to the flat 7? Simple. We simply flatten that note. Okay, we're going to simply flatten that note. Right? So if this is the 7, we go half step down to flatten it. Right? So if we're in the key of C, so 1, 7, flat 7. Okay? So the same thing with the 2. So if we go 1, 2, how do we find the flat 2? Simply flatten the note. Flatten the note, right? That's all we're doing, going a half a step down, for lack of better words. We're looking for the flat 5. It's the 5, that G. We just want to find the flat 5, so flatten that note, right? And we have our flat notes. The same thing with the 6, that A minor. We want to go to the flat 6, right? And you should know the corresponding notes too. I feel like this is foundational in knowing your fretboard. You should know all of these notes. And these things are going to help you to have a strong framework of being able to move in other things. Now, what I want to show you to take this a little step further, I wanted to get some core things out of the way just to make sure we're all on the same page. But I want to show you some little things you can do right now, and you can start adding to your playing right away. But what we're going to do is we're going to use a gospel quartet track for this. And so I'm going to show you right here. So watch this. Again, so we have the 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 6, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 3, 4, half step, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, so that's a slower version of the progression, and it's really, I don't want you guys to look at it and think, oh man, this is moving pretty quick. And I know some of you are like, it ain't moving quick at all. Depending on who you are and where you are in your journey, I just want you to know with this particular progression, you have a lot more options available to you. All right, so as soon as that drummer drops that snare, we're in. So as you can hear, I got a lot more room to play around, have a little bit more fun over that track. I can navigate with it and come up with some really cool stuff. So one of the main things that I'm doing is I want you to catch a hold to this rhythm that we're doing. Catch a hold. I'm talking country too. So ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. That's the feel. You got to capture the feel. Remember when I was telling you guys that the feel is everything with this gospel music, especially with gospel quartet music. You will get kicked off of a gig if your feel isn't right. I know cats who don't know any of the notes on their fretboard, but they got phenomenal feel, and because of that fact, they can get plenty of work as it pertains to the bass guitar. So at the end of the day, the feel is everything, and what we're subdividing this against is the triplets. So you got triplet, 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 triplet. That's the feel you want to think about it. If you're coming from a more technical standpoint, like, okay, Jermaine, I hear what you're saying concerning feel, but all right, how do I get there? Think triplets, triplet, 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 triplet. And what we're doing is we're subdividing those triplets. Triplet, 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 like all of my runs and riffs or things that I'm doing are based around that. Now, what I just showed you is just one piece of the process in developing a bigger set of skills in terms of playing gospel music and mastering gospel music. Now, when I say mastery, I'm talking about being able to do something without the use of conscious resources. I got this definition from Myron Golden. I love that definition. But basically, being able to do something without thinking about it. You don't have to think about it. As soon as you pick that bass up, they start playing something, you know exactly what to do. And these are some concepts. As a matter of fact, this is a short excerpt from one of my courses called the Gospel Quartet course, a gospel quartet instruction or whatever, but I'm teaching you like different songs in terms of how to approach gospel quartet, much just like what you just saw there. So here, basically, you can see all of my gospel-based courses, and what you just seen in the framework that I just showed you is going to help you to be able to approach gospel music confidently. And now, it's no use looking at that 697 and you're already scratching your head, but just hang tight. Don't get ahead of me. Let me show you what we're doing here. So we have the congregational gospel songs 1 and 2, and I'm breaking down all these different congregational songs. We're going through them. We have the hymns, both hymns 1 and 2, that we're breaking down the congregational songs and we're breaking down the hymns. Normally these different things sell for $97.99 a piece, as you can see here on the site. We have the contemporary gospel, we have the gospel quartet bundle right here that you just heard the excerpt from, and then we also have the straight gospel and the straight gospel 2. Not only that, we're covering the shout music and learning how to play shout music. If you ever struggled in shout music, this is the course for you. It really doesn't matter what color you are, because clearly we would hear that music most of the time in like black gospel churches or whatever, and you can clearly see that Tony is not black. He's killing. So if you're learning, wanting to learn to do something like that, it doesn't matter your nationality, your background, where you're from. If you're willing to do the work, you can learn this and be just as confident as Tony and many others that went through these courses. So as you can see, there's a ton of things there. And we also have the Justin Raines shout bump approach, where he's showing you how he plays the same track, how he would approach it. So what Justin does with this as well is Justin breaks down and shows you exactly what he's playing. Justin shows you his approach. So all of this stuff and more is included in this gospel bundle. And I want to make it available to you for a crazy low price. You don't see it right here, but what we want to do is we want to make it available to you for $297.99. And I invite you to get in on this while it's available, while it lasts for you, because look, I know I spent years trying to figure this stuff out. And I know how that feels, being in bigger situations, having a gig or something like that, and you feel like you might lose your gig, or you feel like somebody better than you might come in and take the gig away from you because you can't keep up with the music, or having that feeling of knowing your music director or your worship pastor, whoever, is getting frustrated with you because you're not keeping up. So if you feel like what we've shared today in this lesson has been helpful to you, you feel like you've walked away with something that you can actually use, and if just imagine if you learn all of this in just this amount of time, what could you learn with over 52 different lessons that's talking about these gospel concepts of things you can use? I mean, we covered everything that you can think of in terms of gospel and Christian music that would come up that would make you a very strong player. So if you're feeling like this is for you, do me a favor, hit the link somewhere below and go ahead and get yours now. Let's get going. I want to teach you. Oh, before I forget to mention, backing tracks come with all of these. You got over, I think, you at least have at least 40 plus backing tracks that come with each lesson that you get to download, practice your ideas, work out the hearing part, and work on your ear training part. Along with me teaching you, you're getting to work out with yourself, as well as the sheet music and tab if you need these things. So I encourage you to go ahead and jump in on this deal. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today in this training. I hope it's been super helpful for you. And oh yeah, don't forget, as an extra reward, I want to give you access to my latest book, How to Go From Last Pick to First Pick, my audio book that I want to give you as a download for hanging out with me to this point. All right. Thank you guys. I'm out. Peace.